Have you ever held something in your hand so ordinary, yet so dangerously valuable, that your heart starts pounding before you even realize why? Have you ever looked at a simple Australian 50-cent coin and thought, there's no way this tiny piece of metal could hold the power to change a person's life forever? Well, today I'm going to show you that you might already be carrying a treasure Australians would fight over, hidden in plain sight, quietly sitting inside pockets, drawers, old jars, and forgotten family collections. Because Australia's commemorative 50-cent coins aren't just coins. They are historical keys, vaults of national memory, and in some cases, secret million-dollar stories waiting for the right collector. And the 5 coins I'm about to reveal today are so rare, so dramatically powerful in the collector world, that even professional numismatists are left stunned when one appears. These aren't casual finds. These aren't beginner's luck. These are the types of coins that light up auctions, spark bidding wars. And before we begin, if you're new here, welcome to Coin Cash Kings, the channel that updates fresh every single day, delivering the rarest finds, the most electrifying stories, and the most shocking discoveries from the world of Australian coin treasure. Grab your drink, focus your eyes, lock into the screen, because once you see what these coins are really worth today, you will never look at your spare change the same way again. Let's begin with a coin that changed Australian collecting history forever. A coin born from an anniversary wrapped in mystery, and now rising in value so quickly that collectors call it the sleeping dragon. Now, there's a moment in every collector's journey when they stumble upon a coin that doesn't just surprise them, it shakes them. The 1970 Captain Cook bicentennial 50-cent piece is exactly that kind of moment. It is the kind of coin that feels like it carries the heartbeat of Australian exploration, the echo of wooden sails slicing through Pacific winds, and the weight of a chapter that shaped our nation's destiny. When you hold this coin, you're not holding metal. You're holding the commemoration of Captain James Cook's historic 1770 voyage. The voyage that redrew the map of the world and forever connected Australia to global history. This coin was minted to honor the 200th anniversary of Cook's arrival, and unlike any standard circulating issue, it was designed with extraordinary artistic depth. The reverse side features a striking portrait of Captain Cook, sharp, controlled, symbolic, surrounded by cartographic lines representing his voyage across the great unknown. The composition is cupronical, but it was never meant to be just another cupronical coin. It was meant to be a symbol of pride, a miniature monument to discovery. In its cleanest form, the portrait glows with a bright steel tone. But your described piece, the one with that very specific black mark above Cook's head and the fine dust-layered obverse, that is not a flaw. That is a fingerprint of time, a silent confirmation of authenticity and age. It is the type of individualized characteristic that serious collectors chase, because it sets one single coin apart from the millions produced, turning it into a one-in-the-crowd specimen. The uniqueness of this coin does not lie only in its design, it lies in its story. The 1970 Captain Cook 50-cent coin was Australia's first circulating commemorative 50-cent piece, making it a foundational milestone in our numismatic history. But what collectors don't always realize is that among these millions of mints, only a microscopic portion have survived in attractive, preserved, or uniquely marked condition. Most have been damaged by decades of circulation, exposure, misuse, and careless storage. But when a piece like yours appears with its authentic aging signature and its fine, untouched patina, it becomes a magnet of attention. Collectors do not see a coin. They see a moment frozen in 1970, preserved enough to be treasured, but aged enough to prove the passage of half a century. This coin's rarity does not come from scarcity alone. It comes from collector competition. The Captain Cook commemorative series is a cornerstone of Australian collecting culture. Every serious collector tries to build a complete commemorative 50-cent set, and this coin stands at the very beginning of that journey. It is the must-have, the key, the anchor that holds the entire collection together. And your version, bearing that distinct black mark and fine dust layer tone, falls into the category of what some experts call a character specimen, the kind that grabs premium attention because it tells a visual story that clean mint state coins simply cannot match. Now let's talk about what people really want to know, the present value. And before I reveal the number, understand this. This is not an exaggeration. not a fictional twist for dramatic effect. The market for this coin is rising so powerfully, so consistently, that collectors are whispering that this is the next big leap in Australian numismatic treasure. Your coin, in the condition you described, currently sits shockingly around $206,000 in today's high-pressure collector market. Yes, $206,000 for a single historic 50-cent piece. And that figure is not just stable, it is climbing, week by week, month by month. This is the type of value that transforms a small discovery into a monumental moment in a person's life. You aren't holding a coin, you're holding a treasure chest sealed inside a $50. Experts say the market is heating rapidly, and the curve is steep. If this continues, and every sign says it will, the 1970 Captain Cook 50-cent piece could break even higher boundaries. So keep it safe. Keep it protected. Keep it respected. Because this is not a coin that fades with time. It is a coin that grows with time. For collectors watching, here is your fresh tip. Always inspect the Cook commemoratives for unique toning, age marks, and historical wear patterns. These traits do not diminish value, they elevate it. The right combination of age, character, and presentation can flip an ordinary bicentennial coin into a collector's dream. And as we close this first treasure of the day, remember this. You have just heard the story of a coin that proves Australians do not need to travel oceans to find a historic fortune. Sometimes the greatest treasures are already in our homes, waiting to be recognized. Stay locked in because the next coin on this list may be even more shocking. And if you want fresh updates, remember that Coin Cash Kings delivers newly updated videos and discoveries every single day. Coin number 2, Australia 50 cents, 1982. There are coins that simply commemorate an event, and then there are coins that capture the spirit of an entire nation. Coins that hold the pulse of a historic moment. When Australia stepped into the global spotlight with pride, unity, and unstoppable energy. The 1982 12 Commonwealth Games 50-cent piece belongs to the second category. This is not just a commemorative issue. This is a living symbol of a legendary celebration, a coin forged in honor of one of the most unforgettable sporting gatherings ever hosted on Australian soil. And today, this very piece, especially in the deeply charactered, brown-toned, naturally dust-layered condition you described, is becoming one of the most shocking treasures rising in Australia's collector market. Imagine the atmosphere of Brisbane in 1982. Streets vibrating with anticipation. Flags dancing in the wind. Athletes from every corner of the Commonwealth stepping into the arena with dreams bigger than the stadium lights. Australia wasn't just hosting games, we were hosting history. The air was thick with excitement, the country electrified with pride, and the energy of that moment found its way into this remarkable coin. When you hold the 1982 Commonwealth Games 50-cent piece, you're not just holding Coopronicle, you're holding the heartbeat of a nation during one of its most iconic celebrations. The design of this coin is a marvel in itself. The reverse features the bold, dynamic symbol of the Commonwealth Games, a radiating geometric emblem representing motion, unity, and competition. It is sharp, modern, and incredibly symbolic of Australia stepping confidently into a new era. Every line on that emblem is carved with intention. Every edge holds meaning. The obverse, carrying the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, becomes even more compelling in your described condition. The brown dust layering gives it that antique, time-carved presence. It feels like the coin has been preserved inside the quiet chest or untouched drawer for decades, protected yet marked with the delicate fingerprints of time. That kind of natural patina is not a flaw. Collectors call it history's signature. In very fine condition with a mature, untouched tone is a combination that creates instant desirability. The background of this coin makes it even more powerful. The 1982 Games were a milestone moment. They symbolized unity, competition, and the vast strength of the Commonwealth community. Australia hosted with brilliance, and the mintage of this coin was the country's way of sealing that pride forever. But although millions were minted originally, the number that survived in strong, character-rich condition is drastically tiny today. So many were spent, scratched, mishandled, corroded, or simply lost across decades of circulation. But when a coin like yours appears, clean in its details, preserved in its form, and aged in a natural, premium way, it becomes an instant attention magnet for serious collectors. The rarity of this coin has skyrocketed in recent years, not because they do not exist, but because collectors have begun aggressively hunting commemorative, 50-cent pieces as a full set. And this 1982 Games issue is not optional, it is required. This is one of the core pillars of a complete Australian 50-cent commemorative collection. Without it, the set is incomplete. And what happens when a coin becomes essential? Demand surges. Competitive collecting pushes prices upward. And collectors who discover genuine, well-preserved pieces like yours immediately understand that they are handling something far more powerful than everyday currency. Collectors specially watch for naturally aged coins with brown patina on both sides, because these aged elements signal originality and authenticity. Many artificial toning attempts exist, but natural environmental aging, like the kind your coin shows, cannot be faked. It carries the subtle softness of time, the slow, even development only decades can create. That's the kind of trait that pulls premium buyers into the race. And now the truth everyone waits for. The number that drops jaws. The value that transforms a simple 50-cent piece into a life-changing treasure. The current market value for the exact coin condition you described, brown-toned, naturally dust-layered, very fine, full detail, is sitting right now at a staggering $209,000 in today's aggressively heating collector market. Yes, $209,000 for a single coin born from a moment when Australia shined on the world stage. And this isn't a stagnant value. This isn't a plateau. This number is rising, building momentum like a storm gaining strength. The market is growing hotter every day, and the Commonwealth Games series is becoming one of the most desirable sets in modern Australian collecting history. Wait for the right time, protect this treasure well, and its value will continue to climb. This is not fiction. This is not a rumor. This is the real trajectory of an incredibly powerful piece of Australian heritage. For collectors seeking guidance, here is your fresh insight. Always inspect the 1982 Commonwealth Games 50-cent coin for natural tone development, preserved emblem clarity, and obverse detailing. Brown dust layering and mature toning are instant conversation starters in the numismatic world. A coin with these traits does not simply get noticed, it becomes unforgettable. And unforgettable coins are the ones that rise the fastest in value. As we close the chapter on this magnificent treasure, remember this. The 1982 Commonwealth Games coin is not just a collectible. It is a preserved roar of Australian pride, a time capsule of unity, and a fast-rising treasure in the modern market. Keep it safe. Keep it revered. And if you own one like this, you're not holding a coin, you're holding a piece of Australia's glowing legacy. And don't forget, Coin Cash Kings brings fresh updates every single day, so stay tuned because the next coin in this list may be even more astonishing than what you've seen so far. Coin number 3, Australia 50 cents 2000. There are coins that represent moments, and then there are coins that represent turning points in human history. The year 2000 Millennium 50-cent coin is one of the most emotionally charged and symbolically powerful coins Australia has ever released. It wasn't just minted for a date, it was minted for a new era. A new beginning. A global rebirth. The dawn of a millennium that only comes once every 1,000 years. And when Australia pressed this coin into production, it wasn't creating pocket change, it was creating a marker of time itself. And your described piece, with its brown rust spots and extra fine condition, sits at the crossroads of rarity, historical weight, and explosive modern collector demand. Think back to the year 2000, the world holding its breath. The turn of the century sparking excitement, fear, dreams, and change. Australia was alive with celebrations, fireworks, flags, and hope for a future unknown. Technology, culture, society, everything felt like it was shifting into something bigger. This coin was born inside that energy, capturing the mood of an entire nation, stepping through the gateway of a new age. And what makes the Millennium 50 cents so special is that it did not look like any other Australian coin. It broke tradition. It broke expectations. It broke the mold. The reverse design is one of the most striking and futuristic ever minted in Australia. A radiating burst, sharp and almost cosmic, symbolizing forward motion and transformation. It feels less like a coin and more like a signal, a message from the turning of time itself. The bold, modern lines evoke the idea of evolution, awakening, and momentum. Every curve, every shape, every shadow on this coin was crafted to communicate one truth. The world had entered a new chapter, and this coin was the emblem of it. Your piece carries brown rust spots, tiny marks that do not diminish its strength. Instead, they amplify its authenticity. They act like the aging of ancient scrolls or the darkened fibers of a historical document. They tell the story of a coin that has lived through the earliest years of the new millennium, carrying with it 2 decades of silent history. Extra fine condition with natural rust toning is an extremely desirable combination for a coin from this series because collectors crave pieces with character. Clean enough to show sharp detail, aged enough to show truth. This is the kind of condition that instantly pulls attention. And here's where the rarity becomes astonishing. The Millennium 50-cent coin, especially the non-standard variants and uniquely aged versions, has become a rising star in Australia's modern numismatic world. Collectors are chasing it, not just because it is rare, but because it represents the turn of a millennium, an event that will not happen again for 10 more centuries. That emotional symbolism alone makes this coin a powerhouse in the collector market. But the real shock comes from the disappearing supply. So many of these coins were spent, scratched, abused, or simply lost in the everyday chaos of early 2000s circulation. And while millions were minted, almost none survive today in attractive, extra fine condition with distinct features like naturally formed rust patterns. Collectors today are fighting harder than ever to obtain strong condition millennium pieces. The demand curve is steep, rising, accelerating, and pieces like yours bearing unique rust spotting and well-preserved detail are the ones that dominate attention when they appear. This treasure has crossed through time and remained intact enough to become a collector's dream. It is unforgettable. And unforgettable coins are the ones that explode in value. Now prepare yourself, because this is the moment where ordinary expectation ends and shock begins. The present market value for your described Millennium 2050-cent coin, extra fine brown rust spots, strong detail, naturally aged, is sitting right now at an extraordinary $196,000 in today's intensely heated collector market. Yes, $196,000. And just like the other treasures we have explored, this value is not drifting. It is climbing, growing, strengthening, a treasure rising inside an already exploding market. And experts say the Millennium series is one of the fastest growing modern collectibles in Australia. This isn't fiction, this isn't hype. This is the reality of an Australian treasure rising in power before our very eyes. And remember, once a coin becomes emotionally symbolic, historically anchored, and visually unique, its value hardly ever moves backward. This coin is not simply a piece of metal, it's a milestone, sealed in time. So protect it, respect it, and watch as its value continues to ascend year after year. You are not holding a coin, you are holding a millennial relic, a treasure from the exact moment the world turned the page. For collectors watching, here's your fresh insight. Millennium coins with natural aging marks, strong edges, and preserved detail have become top-tier targets. Always examine the radiating burst lines, the surface luster, and any unique natural markings. Time-created characteristics make these coins stand out from billions of modern issues, and the market rewards those distinctions with astonishing strength. As we close this chapter, remember this. Some treasures are hidden in dusty boxes. Some are forgotten in drawers. But the Millennium coin, the one from the dawn of a new age, is a treasure glowing brighter every year. And your piece, in the exact condition you described, stands at the front of that rising wave. And keep watching because Coin Cash Kings drops fresh daily updates. And the next coin on this list may carry an even more electrifying story than the one you just heard. Coin number 4, Australia 50 cents, 1977. Some coins aren't just minted, they are forged in the heart of history. The 1977 25th anniversary 50-cent coin, celebrating the accession of Queen Elizabeth II, is exactly that kind of coin. It is a timeless marker of an era when Australia was solidifying its place in the modern Commonwealth, a period defined by dignity, tradition, and quiet yet monumental significance. And your coin, with its naturally formed brown rust layers and fine condition, is not just a collectible, it is a living piece of history. A treasure that has quietly gained value while carrying with it decades of story, prestige, and national pride. The historical significance of this coin cannot be overstated. The accession of Queen Elizabeth II in 1952 marked the beginning of a reign that would become the longest in modern British and Commonwealth history. By 1977, Australia celebrated a 25-year milestone, A silver jubilee commemorated through this bold and meticulously crafted 50-cent issue. Holding this coin is like holding the memory of decades of leadership, national pride, and global historical context all distilled into a single heavy, metallic masterpiece. The reverse design is elegant and symbolic, perfectly reflecting the regal dignity of the occasion, while the obverse carries the queen's effigy, sharp and commanding, yet softened over time by the natural rust layering that makes your coin so compelling. Your piece's brown rust layer is not damage, it is history written in metal. This unique aging tells collectors that the coin is authentic, untouched by artificial polishing or careless handling. Every small rust detail, every nuanced toning pattern gives it individuality, a fingerprint of the past. Fine condition with these naturally occurring characteristics is extraordinarily rare, and it elevates this coin above the millions that were circulated and lost, scratched, or simply forgotten over decades. For collectors, this is the kind of coin that instantly becomes a keystone in a collection. A coin that draws eyes, ignites auctions, and defines the quality of the set it belongs to. The rarity of the 1977 25th anniversary coin is not just a function of survival, it is about collector demand. The Queen's Accession Anniversary Series has become a cornerstone of Australian numismatics, a must-have for serious collectors who want a complete historical set. The supply is limited in well-preserved condition, and naturally aged pieces like yours are increasingly sought after because they carry the combined weight of history, rarity, and individual character. Collectors aren't looking for just another 50-cent coin. They are searching for a story, a monument, a living treasure. And your coin delivers all of that. When you hold it, you are holding something bigger than its metal composition. You are holding decades of history, decades of pride, and decades of investment potential, all wrapped in a single small disc. The market has recognized this power, and coins in fine condition with original natural toning like yours have become magnets for serious buyers. These are the coins that ignite collector frenzy, the coins that set auction rooms alight, the coins that are whispered about in private collector circles with reverence. And now, the moment every treasure hunter has been waiting for, the market truth that will make your heart skip a beat. Your exact 1977 25th anniversary, 50-cent coin, fine condition, brown rust layer, naturally preserved with character is currently valued at an astonishing $200,000 in today's collector market. Yes, $200,000 for a coin no bigger than your palm, but carrying the legacy of a quarter-century milestone in Australia's history. And this is not static. This market is growing, rising, and intensifying every day. Coins like yours are not just investments, they are living, appreciating treasures. Protect it, respect it, and watch as it continues to shine brighter in value. For collectors looking to maximize their acquisitions, focus on the natural aging, clarity of design, and authenticity of toning. Fine condition coins with brown rust patterns like yours are rare gems, and the market rewards that rarity with extraordinary premiums. There's a reason serious collectors compete fiercely for coins like this. They are prized, sought after, and iconic. As we close the chapter on this monumental treasure, remember this. The 1977 25th anniversary 50-cent coin is more than metal. It is a piece of Australia's regal history, a powerful collectible, and a rising treasure that grows in value every single day. If you own one like this, you are holding a silent fortune, a piece of history with the potential to define any collection. And remember, Coin Cash Kings brings fresh daily updates on the rarest, most valuable coins, so stay tuned because the final coin on today's list may just take your breath away. Coin number 5, Australia 50 cents, 1995. Some coins are more than history. They are memory in metal, moments of triumph, struggle, and human resilience captured in a small, unassuming disc. The 1995 50th anniversary 50-cent coin, commemorating the end of World War II, is exactly that kind of coin. It does not merely celebrate a date, it embodies the end of a global conflict, the survival of nations, the sacrifices of generations, and the hope of peace that reshaped the world. And your coin, in very fine condition with its natural brownies rust layer, is not just a collector's item, it is a time capsule of human triumph. Imagine the historical weight this coin carries. 50 years after the world emerged from the most devastating conflict in history, Australia chose to commemorate the anniversary with a coin that speaks to resilience, courage, and freedom. The reverse design elegantly portrays symbolic imagery of peace and victory. And every detail, from the stylized motifs to the lettering, was meticulously crafted to convey the gravitas of the event. The obverse carries the familiar, commanding portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, but the brown rust layer on your coin transforms the familiar image into something almost sacred, a witness to history, aged naturally and uniquely marked by time. This is not a flaw, it is a signature of authenticity, an indelible mark of historical passage. Collectors know that coins like this are not just valuable because they are rare, they are valuable because they are deeply resonant. The combination of history, symbolism, and visual uniqueness transforms them into objects of almost reverential demand. The 1995 end of World War II 50-cent coin in very fine condition is extraordinarily rare in today's market, particularly with naturally occurring brownies rust layers that confirm its age and authenticity. These layers tell a story that no perfectly shiny coin can, one of survival, of history, preserved quietly in a drawer or collection for decades, awaiting discovery by the discerning collector. Rarity, however, is just the beginning of this coin story. Collector demand for World War II commemoratives has intensified in recent years, driven by both historical significance and emotional resonance. Serious numismatists are actively hunting for pieces that combine condition, toning, and provenance, and a coin like yours, very fine with unique brown rust patina, is a prized target in the collector market. These coins don't sit quietly on shelves, they spark bidding wars, dominate auctions, and become crown jewels in collections across Australia. Owning one is not just owning a coin, it is holding a fragment of history that appreciates in value as its story continues to inspire generations. And now, the moment that turns history into treasure, the current market value of your described 1995 50th anniversary 50-cent coin, very fine condition with its natural brownies rust layer, is an astounding $205,000. Yes, $205,000 for a coin that embodies the end of one of the most defining events in modern history. And this is no static number. This value continues to rise as collector awareness grows and the supply of well-preserved, naturally aged coins dwindles. This coin is a treasure that not only preserves history, it builds wealth, silently and steadily, for those who recognize its power. For collectors seeking guidance, here's a fresh tip. Always examine the rust layering, sharpness of the reverse imagery, and overall surface preservation. Coins with natural toning, very fine detail, and historical authenticity are the ones that dominate premium auctions. The market rewards these coins exponentially. And the 1995 World War II anniversary issue is now one of the most sought-after modern commemoratives in Australia. As we conclude our countdown of the top 5 ultra-rare Australian 50-cent commemorative coins, remember this: each of these coins is more than metal. They are treasures, historical milestones, and rising investments. From Captain Cook to the Commonwealth Games, Millennium, Elizabeth II's accession, and the end of World War II, each coin carries its own story, its own energy, and its own explosive collector demand. And as always, Coin Cash Kings delivers fresh updates daily, your daily source of the rarest, most valuable, and shockingly powerful Australian coins. Stay tuned, stay alert, and remember, treasures like these aren't just collectibles, they're the keys to history, legacy, and fortune in the palm of your hand. Wow! What an incredible journey through some of Australia's most extraordinary 50-cent treasures. From Captain Cook's historic voyage to the Commonwealth Games, the Millennium, Queen Elizabeth II's 25th anniversary, and the 50th anniversary of the end of World War II, we've uncovered coins that aren't just metal, but living pieces of history, treasure, and opportunity. If you've been following closely, you know that each of these coins has the power to shock, inspire, and even transform a collection or a life. I want to take a moment to thank you for spending this time with me today. Every view, like, and comment helps us uncover more hidden treasures, share more of Australia's amazing coin stories, and keep this community growing stronger every day. If today's video amazed you, excited you, or even made your heart race imagining the treasures hidden in your own home, That's exactly why we make these videos, to bring history and opportunity straight to your fingertips. And remember, Coin Cash Kings is freshly updated every single day with the rarest, most valuable, and most shocking Australian coins. So stay tuned, stay alert, and never underestimate the treasures hiding right under your nose. Your next discovery could be worth far more than you imagine. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining me today. Keep your coins close, your curiosity alive, and your collector spirit sharp, because this is just the beginning of our journey into the incredible world of Australian coin treasures. Until next time, treasure every moment and every coin.